Alright, welcome to part 2 of the Seatbelt Planet install. Got my custom seatbelts in the mail while I was away, and I'm ready to do the install. If you haven't checked out the uninstall process, go check out my video now of part 1. Put that in the upper right cards right now, as well as the video description below. For those of you worried about losing your seatbelts for a week or so, the other option you have is to go to an online store like East Coast Moparts, Steve White Parts. By the way, I have a discount with them, code WorkPlayDrive. Head over to them, order a set of seatbelts, have them drop ship to Seatbelt Planets for re-webbing. And in this case, then they'll send you back the newly re-webbed seatbelts, and you'll have your OEM ones to put back in at a later date. The order process is super simple. For those of you who don't know, I have a product discounts page on my website, and Seatbelt Planet discount will be set up soon enough. We're almost there, but anyway, you can head over to my product discounts page, access their website directly from there. There's no links, there's no money being exchanged. You just go there, buy it, and if my discount code is eventually working, you guys save some cash. Alright, so what you guys are looking to do is you're going to get a custom webbing. Now they've already built in some stuff for Mopars, so which is pretty cool. Go into here, just click on this, it'll bring you to their custom webbing section. And as you can see here, each belt is approximately $150. If you want to get some of their custom swatches, like for example the red edge one, you get a good detail. Let me drag that into view there. There we go. They have all their swatches in full screen view so you don't have the corners cut off. These are the special custom webbings. Alright, so basically you got your full view. That's another thing because you really can't see too well what you're looking at in these little dots here. But anyway, let's go ahead and add 2 neon green, which is a good match for Sublime, to the cart. And ooh, I already have 2 in there already. Let me drop that down a little bit. Update cart. We can always go for 5 seatbelts or whatever. But anyway, that's it. And eventually, when that WorkPlay Drive coupon code works, you can just go ahead and add that and hit apply. We're working that out as we speak, so it could be a day or so. Could be a week, who knows. But when it is, I'll throw it up on Instagram so you guys know when it's ready. That's it. You make your purchase, remove your seatbelts following my seatbelt removal video, which you can see in the upper right corner right now. And when you get your seatbelts back, that's where this video right here starts. Alright, it's been 2 weeks since I've even seen her. Traveling sucks. Miss my family, miss my car. But it's for a good cause, so we'll get through this. While I was away, my seatbelts came in. Got them in the trunk of the beater. They arrived in a larger box. This smaller package box that they came in. I love my scraper there. Here we go. I am so glad I waited for this webbing. It is absolutely beautiful. I wanted to go with a color, but then when I saw this, that subtle red and black, I really felt that this is definitely the way to go for my car. I kind of felt that going with an all red seatbelt or an all orange seatbelt would just be way too over the top, considering how kind of muted my color scheme is. So yeah, this is what we went with, and I am super happy with the job that Seatbelt Planet did on these. We'll get into it in a second, but I just wanted to give you a really good close-up of what the webbing looks like and the quality of it. You know, let's get over to their sewing job over here. There we go. I mean, their sewing job is absolutely perfect. Got their logo and a date stamp and everything on there. It's absolutely perfect. I am so pleased with the work that these guys did. All right, let's get into the install part of this. I think for this install, I'm going to mount you guys top side of the car and then just kind of give you an overview. Since you know where all the bolts and screws are from the first part, now kind of like just a full-time view of me putting it in. Let me get the camera situated and we'll get it rolling. Back in the car, and I'm going to give you an overview from this angle just to give you an idea of the reinstall. You guys already know where all the screw holes are, where all the screws go from the uninstall. I'm just going to review quickly from a backed up point of view so you can see all the work involved. Now I've taken the time to mark out all the areas where the push clips are. So these are the areas that you're going to have to push on when you go and put this trim piece back on. All right, so before you reassemble this is something very important to understand. The seatbelts will not come out unless the housing is correct and in the right position. All right. So if you were to tilt this in any way, the retractor gets stuck. So it's got to be straight up and down and in the correct position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it. I'm going to leave this hanging off to the side for now. Put my hand here. I'm going to hook it in place, slide it back. And you're also going to want to make sure the foam piece is still in there from before. So just bring it in. Don't get your finger stuck in the retaining clip. There we go. And this piece could come up and over for now. Alright, so we have everything in position. We have our two types of screws. We have our light turquoise Loctite for the upper. We have our blue Loctite, dark blue Loctite for the lower. Put some fresh Loctite on these and let it sit for a little while before you put these in. And go to work on the most annoying bolt of the entire process. Unfortunately, if you choose to go the route of not taking out the seat, it's going to be a little tight, but it's completely doable. There are no issues with doing it with the seat in. I removed them with the seat in. We could put them back with the seat in. Just get it as far in as you can with your finger. And don't forget to put the upper screw back in. Okay, that's the Phillips head screw. There we go. Phillips head screw is tight. Now the bad part is I do not have Torx specs on any of this, so I would go with Hercules tight because it is a seatbelt. Okay, again we've got the T50 bit on the ratchet here. Slide all that in place, and it is just big enough to get my ratchet in. So this is the annoying part. Not a lot of room to throw in here, so do what you can. All right, now we're going to go nice and tight on these. Okay, there we go. All right, once you've gotten that back in place, don't forget to reconnect the connector. Push it in tightly. Push the green locking pin in place. Make sure she's snug. This is the easy part up here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and send this through. Alright. Go and line that up and screw that in. Same as before, T50. You get an extension so you can comfortably just get right past all this stuff here. And take her all the way home. About halfway in, you're going to want to make sure everything is aligned so you don't end up doing what I did and pinning it in the wrong spot. There we go. Perfect. Put the other bolt in there. Remember, you want to be careful not to drop any bolts down there because there is a little well down below where it's not very easy to get stuff out of. So make sure this is all set up correctly. Looks good. Make sure that's through. Get them both down before you decide to try and torque it in place. And again, don't have the Torx specs, sorry. There we go. Alright. Okay, so this whole area is done. And last but not least, we've got the lower section. That off. Okay, so we make sure our seatbelt is nice and straight. We insert this so the fat side is facing forward, so the thin side goes in. Push it in, there we go. Push that through. And if you have this clip goes on the outside after the fact. And then, of course, I totally forgot to put this on. Let's see if I can do that. after the fact. Go, make sure the seatbelt's straight one more time. Pop that in there and tighten her down. Okay, I'll pop that off. And target down nice. Hercules tight there. Check our functionality. Nice. Everything looks good. Belt looks nice and pretty. All right, now for the reassembly part. View here. We've got the 2 bolts up here holding that in. We've got the connector on. Got the Phillips head screw up top. And we've got that annoying bolt down the bottom, if I can get in there to see it. All right, got everything torqued down nice and tight. We've got our clips here. We want to make sure all of these clips are pushed in really well before we go ahead and push that back. And I took the time to label or just highlight where these are. There's 2 on each side of the speaker. There's 2 on the armrest. And there's 2 down here, 1 right below, and then 1 down there. So let's get you back into position and snap this in place. All right, we'll get all our connectors, our stuff lined back up again. Get our trim pieces popped out again. Get back where it belongs. All right. Okay, it looks like everything is in position. Get it pressed in lightly. There we go. And then pop, 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 and pop. Oh, my vinyl fell off. It's a little too cold to put vinyl on. Last but not least, we get this trim piece in here. Slide that in. Guess like a little gate there. Very nice. And we have our seat belt. All right, I'm very excited to see how this is going to look. Oh yeah, first down here we got to snap our door trim back together. So there's a last remaining screw right down here in the door jamb. Buried down in there, and get our door jamb popped back into place. All right, looks beautiful. All right, so now that the install process is done, just to give you guys a quick review, it's not a very difficult process. You're looking at a half hour to take out your seatbelts, another half hour to put them back in. There is shipping involved, but Seatbelt Planet basically received these on February 7th, shipped them back to me on February 8th, and you know, I was away, so I finally got back and came around to installing these now. But awesome quality. There is no fraying, no little strings hanging off of these things. The stitching is really good. The experience with the company was awesome. I actually spent a lot of time talking back and forth to the owner because he was just, at the time we started talking back in September, October, he was looking to get into the Mopar market, and he's already done that with flying colors. And I'm glad I waited and procrastinated, because you do have to take your seatbelts out of the car. You do have to ship these seatbelts out to them to be re-webbed. So I had a lot of engagements and obligations for my car, so I had to wait until off season. So this last trip, I was away for 2 weeks. It's the perfect opportunity to ship everything out. If you want same day service, you basically get in touch with them, let them know when your belts are going to arrive, and they'll get them right back out to you same day. You got some ideas or some options, get in touch with them. They'll also send you out a sample pack or send you samples of the colors you're thinking of. They're really awesome like that. Had the opportunity to meet up with the owner in Vegas, Mike Bosley. Great guy, really humble. Sells a great product. He's super proud of his work, and he has every reason to be. So I'm going to go ahead and give Seatbelt Planet the WorkPlay Drive seal of approval.
The cost of these two belts is still far less than buying one OEM Mopar belt. You're still using your all of your OEM hardware, so the retractor, the belts, all the metal, everything is yours. You're shipping your entire seatbelt assembly to them. All they're doing is re-webbing it because it has to be sewn back in place. So you're not getting some cheap knockoff parts. You're not getting a cheesy seatbelt. What you're getting is a web that it meets all and exceeds all safety standards, done by a company who is certified to do this work, and it's all put back together in your OEM stuff, and all for less than the price of buying one red SRT seatbelt. Again, WorkPlay Drive seal of approval. If you guys want custom seatbelts, Seatbelt Planet is the place to go. Don't have any discounts with them yet, but if something comes up, you'll find that in the description of the video. All right, so if you found this video helpful in any way, please feel free to gently press that like button. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching. You want to get some new seatbelts for your Mopar or any car for that matter. Tons of colors. They'll send you out sample packs. They'll let you kind of touch and feel. Hold on a second. What the heck? Where the hell did it go? What did I do with it? I mean, I don't see it.